Hello, 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 ho, ho. Or even good evening, and welcome to BOBCAST number 93. Yes, Tuesday night, and it's the 23rd. Is it 23rd? I think it is. Yeah, it's 23rd. 23rd of June. And today is the day that the British Prime Minister announced for England lots and lots of changes, all on their way on the 4th of July. Big important day, the 4th of July. Pubs and clubs and restaurants and libraries, churches, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. Weddings up to 30 people, so you can marry 30 people if you want. But this is all in England, and certainly watching at lunchtime, watching Miss Sturgeon on her broadcast at the same time as Boris Johnson was in Parliament. Yeah, I thought they'd work that out a bit better. She was saying no, 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 and he was saying yes, 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 yes. And Mr. Starmer agreed. Sir Starmer, Sir Starmer, Sir Starmer, Sir Starmer. That's a good name. Sir Starmer. Kier. Oh, champagne. I like a bit of Kier. Cassis and champagne. Kier Royale. Very nice indeed. Anyhow, it's good to be with you. Talking of French things, did you hear about the French cheese factory that's exploded? There was nothing left but a debris. Yeah, and all the way from France, I had this joke sent in to me today. It said, "I went on a course to learn how to complain properly recently. It was so good, I got my money back." I thought that was really good. I do like that. I went on a course to learn how to complain properly recently. It was so good, I got my money back. So, très bon, merci, madame et famille. That's really, really nice to get that all the way from France. We've got watchers all over the place, and found a new way of counting, and there's a lot of people watching this. So good on you. Could I suggest, when lockdown's released, you get a life, go and do something else instead of watching this nonsense of old curly Bob. Yes, it's a long time since I've been picked up by the long and curlies. I have to tell you, it's definitely a bit strange. I quite like it in a way. Quite like it. It's all my own. Some I borrow from people up and down the street, but most of it's my own. And it'll be better in the morning when it's had another wash. So it gets dirty in the evening. It's amazing that, isn't it? You get up in the morning, you have a shower, scrub and polish and condition and do all those things that you have to do, shave and all sorts of things. Then, 10 hours later, I only had a shower 11 hours ago now, and it's all manky again. Old manky poo. So that'll never do, will it? Amazing how our bodies are. Just quite incredible. By the way, I've just found out why nurses often carry red crayons with them. It's in case they have to draw blood while they're on shift. So it's been quite interesting today, and I've done a bit of trotting around, and I went to St Mary's Church, which is a Roman Catholic church here in Kelso, and they had open prayer. So I thought I'll sneak in and have a little look. Spoke to Father David there, and it was just nice to see the church open and welcoming, and lovely smelling hand sanitizer. I have to say, when I got home, my hands, my fingers, just smelled beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We've got some new hand sanitizers delivered today for our church. I don't know what it's like, so I wait with excitement to see how it is. And I think that might be worth a mention later on, a bit of sanitizer. Got to clean it all up a bit, haven't you? Just now and again. So it was good to see people there, all wearing masks, and big debates going on about masks, isn't there? And I went into the bank today to borrow some money, and I thought, that's the person I need to see. He's the loaner ranger. That's why he was wearing a mask. Loaner ranger. Oh, they said no, you're in the wrong branch. You have to go to Toronto. Yes, do I mean that? I'm talking about something I don't know very much about, actually. I'm not a great Lone Ranger fan. Were you a Lone Ranger fan? I did like Champion the Wonder Horse. And I had a bit of a spell on the radio of playing Champion the Wonder Horse, and that was interesting. People didn't ask me to play it again, I have to say. It was just something. Anyhow, as I was in town today, I went into one of the shops that were opening, and there was a lady in there saying that quilts are far better than duvets. And being a citizen who likes to support people, I said to her, listen, you need to be very careful making blanket statements like that. Very important not to make blanket statements. You know, that's one of the things that we do. I've been writing my sermon this morning, which I'll record tomorrow. And you'll hear it if you haven't got a life and are very unlucky on Saturday and Sunday when it goes live on the website. But one of the things we're talking about there is making people welcome and including everybody. And that's such an important thing, isn't it? And I hope that when we come out of all this lockdown and, you know, it becomes a bit of a distant memory, we remember all those people who were the key workers. And I'm not just talking about people at Timpson's. I'm talking about all the key workers. And, you know, and just remember them, because without them, we wouldn't be where we are today. We certainly wouldn't be thinking that in a few weeks' time, we'll be able to release, you know, and make life a little bit easier. But it has been tough, hasn't it? And you know, I've found it a challenge, and I know a lot of you have as well. There's been good things because it's given many of us an opportunity to, you know, relax and think a bit. And you know, somebody said to me yesterday, "Oh, I was told at work I look better than I've looked for ages." You know, so actually, in a way, there's sort of enforced rest, but it's been odd rest. I thought I would do a load of reading. And when this happened, I thought, right, there we go. I've got a big pile of books. Starting off today, John Simpson, not John Simpson, I can't remember his name, the man who did Today. And John Humphreys, that's him. He was the first reporter, by the way, at the Aberfan disaster when he was a young cub reporter. But he was the first reporter to get through. He got in his car and drove as soon as he heard about Aberfan. So a big pile of books, including his autobiography. I think I've read about 4 pages in the 97, 98 days since it's been happening. So strange how the days just drift along, isn't it? Out of interest, what do you call a man with a rubber toe? Roberto. Yeah, that's got a sort of Italian feel of it, sort of Spanishy, isn't it? And I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced it was a good one. So yesterday I got rabbiting on about records, and thank you for quite a few people who made suggestions on my Facebook page about some of the songs that they like, and just go and have a wee look at yesterday's Facebook page, and you'll see lots of things that people like, and I'm sure there's more. And I've been thinking about songs and music and so many different things throughout the day as well, because it just brings it back. But I did promise you a poem, and the poem, as told you, was going to be called Matilda. Well, believe it or not, today it's still going to be called Matilda. And I found this, and I don't think I've read it before. But I did like it. It's quite long, so bear with me. It's called Matilda, who told lies and was burned to death. And it was by a lady called Hilaire Belloc. I presume it's a lady. It could be a man, but I think that's a lady. So this is called Matilda. Matilda told such dreadful lies, it made one gasp and stretch one's eyes. Her aunt, who from her earliest youth had kept a secret regard for truth, attempted to believe Matilda. The effort very nearly killed her, and would have done so if had not she discovered this infirmity. For once towards the close of day, Matilda, growing tired of play, and finding she was left alone, went tiptoe to the telephone, and summoned the immediate aid of London's noble fire brigade. Within an hour the gallant band were pouring in on every hand, from Putney, Hackney Downs and Bow, with courage high and hearts aglow. They galloped roaring through the town, Matilda's house is burning down. Inspired by British cheers and loud, proceeding from the frenzied crowd, they ran their ladders through a score of windows on the ballroom floor, and took particular pains to souse the pictures up and down the house, until Matilda's aunt succeeded in showing them that they were not needed, and even then she had to pay to get the men to go away. It happened that a few weeks later, her aunt was off to the theatre to see that interesting play, the second Mrs. Tanqueray. Nice gin. She had refused to take her niece to hear this entertaining piece, a deprivation just and wise to punish her for telling lies. That night a fire did break out. You should have heard Matilda shout, you should have heard her scream and bawl and throw the window up and call to people passing on the street. The rapidly increasing heat encouraging her to obtain their confidence. But it was all in vain. For every time she shouted fire, they only answered, little liar. And therefore, when her house returned, Matilda and the house were burned. I think I said house returned there, I meant aunt returned. So I've never heard that before, and do I want to hear it again? Well, maybe. Reminds me of the little boy, I think it was a Rudyard Kipling story, wasn't it? The little boy who cried wolf and things. Gosh, the next one is The Lion and Albert, but I don't know if I can do the accent. You need a really good Lancashire accent to do that particular recitation. Anyhow, that was the story of Matilda. I promised it to you. A parrot goes to the doctor and says, I've moles on me back. Arr. The doctor said, it's okay, they're benign. Parrot said, count again, I think there'll be 10. Parrot jokes indeed. Gosh, parrot memory game. Remember that? That was one of the few Little Britain sketches we can actually talk about. But the parrot memory game in the shop. Margaret! Margaret! Yes! Parrot memory game, a very funny sketch in Little Britain. If you haven't seen it, just Google it, type it into YouTube, and it will come popping up. So we're rolling towards the end of time. Well, not the end of time, but the end of my time. And I'm just digging there to get my prayer out. Tomorrow's Wednesday, middle of the week. So a bit of recording on Wednesday and then chatting with some of my clergy colleagues. And in the afternoon on Zoom. I hope that things like all this Zoom chatting continues. And chatting with family and friends. Oh, it's rather nice. So record and then Zoom, bit of telephoning. And I don't know what you're going to do, but I hope you do it well. And I believe the weather's going to come out. And we're going to get really hot. So maybe a bit of sunbathing. I've been getting out my Silver Lamy swimming thong and prepare for the garden. As I ran down the beach wearing that in Cape Verde last year, somebody said, I don't know what that man's wearing, but it needs ironing. Anyhow, there we go. So I hope it's all right for you, and you take care. If you're journeying, take care, and if you're beginning to prepare to see how you can enjoy some of these new lifting of restrictions down south, also take care. Remember, it's a minimum of 1 meter plus. Absolutely. And it's all fine until one day you wake up and you go, ooh, got a bit of a headache. Oh, my nose is running. Can't taste that. And then it's a problem. So let's look out for each other, shall we? Watch thou, dear Lord, with those who wake or watch or weep tonight. And give your angels charge over those who sleep. Tend your sick ones, Lord Christ. Rest your weary ones and bless your dying ones.